The rain is lovely and warm. For the MacGyver cam, is there anything that I need to tell you? Have I updated anything? Maybe, maybe not. I was going to update the scale, but I haven't done that. I was going to improve the scale too. I haven't done that. Aren't I a slack ass? Okay, so there is an ongoing improvement regime that I am going to be doing though. Putting myself onto the the thing. Right. So there's improvements that I need to make, and I will explain them to you. The opal zombie is up and running. The opal zombie is up and running. It looks like a zombie. I must do something about that. We probably should make sure people know that it's a zombie, not a zonsi. I don't know what a zonsi actually is, so that could cause epic confusion. We do not want people to be confused, do we? No. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place some water upon... Oh, I need to empty out the bucket as well, and then I will place the water from emptied out bucket. And you might have seen a nice little thumbnail that... Oh, you may or may not have seen the thumbnail, I don't know. But either way, there is opal here. And it's new. And where is my container? Ah, there it is. I'm just quickly maneuvering container to the opals. There we go. Lovely, 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 lovely. And then we pull up. We pop that within the opal cutting regimen. Here we go. In there you go. Good on you. That will help to keep the opal levels, the water levels, nice and high. There we go. Oh, 6 people. Hello there. How are you doing? I'm just making sure I'm pouring water. Oh, I can show you what I'm doing. I'll grab the phone and show you. Anticipation is killing you, right? What's he gonna do? There we go. Have to use my left hand. Put opals down, which are that. Yoink. Grab phone with right hand. Yoink. Here we go. Right, so here's the water delivery device, or WDD. Pouring water in here from where I collected it, where it actually gathers. Just so that you know, this entire system is gravity fed. Gravity fed. That sounds really bad, doesn't it? Because, like, it's water, so you can't feed water. It's gravity drank. Is that better? We've got to work on it in English, haven't we? Now, is that my imagination, or is that... I think this is fine. I'm just checking out this pipe here. It looked, for a minute, like it was not actually full of water. I think that is evidence of being... Yep, it's full of water. It's all good. So I just saw a little thing fly through. So basically, in case you haven't seen this in operation before, this is the water where I drained it from. And don't worry, it's only good for a few iterations before I have to... But that was great. It's only good for a few iterations before I have to replace the water. You can see the water in there is nice and clear, and the water there is kind of cloudy, so you can only do that so many times before that clear water becomes cloudy. But over here we have a little spigot, which is a modified medical drip device. Turn that on, and what that does is it starts the water dripping down this way. Hello, 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 hello. And I put it back down. The moment I'm about to start, it looks terrible. There we go. How are things, Adele? I think you were here last time, weren't you? So you know that I did a massive upgrade of the devices. I haven't actually gotten around to the sanders yet. Let me show you. I was thinking that looked a little bit weird. It's supposed to say zombie. That's what's it called. It's called the zombie because it's been revived so many times. So let me show you the coolness that is occurring. I might actually do it in treasure chest reveal style because it looks cooler that way. So I'm just making sure that everything's... Can it be done that way? Yeah, it can be. So let's move this over to here so that we can do that, and then we'll move this over to here. This is what fouled me up earlier, which is bad. Okay. So now, because I've got it all in the setup, we can get this, and it's like a treasure chest. We can go, yeah. Look at this. So I've already sorted it out. This is stuff, I'm trying to remember, is it the stuff that, yeah, I think that's the good stuff. Could be wrong. This is the stuff that will be done later, and like there's so much stuff here that it's almost arbitrary what's good stuff and what's not. A lot of this is potch though, and potch is basically colourless opal. Let's have a look at this bad boy. See, this is a nice blue colour, but it's got no actual, you know, play of colour in it. I can test that out later on. We've got so much stuff to test out with it, so we're not going to worry too much. That's got a little play of colour, but we're probably going to grab this one because there is so much stuff here. So that's just going down there, so you know where it all is. Oh, I'm sorry. I think people are shitty about it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It'll be all right, I suppose, is the way to say it. This is a knobby here. This is not a knobby. This is a seam opal. Well, I actually have a phrase about that. Let me have my beautiful tragedy. I nearly wrote a song about it. Just, it seems that people get really awful when the tragedy strikes. Don't bear it any mind. It's very hard to not feel personally afflicted when it's like someone who's a close friend. Now this one, just so that you know, it's a brilliant little opal that's refusing to tell you how good it is. Let me see if I can get something. There we go. You see that? Look at him. Look at him. Right, so that one's good. So let's look through that. Just this thing has been bugging me for quite some time. It's just been sitting down here. And it's a nice little opal, but it's been just sitting there. And every session I've been looking at it, I've been going, I've got to cut that. So I'm just going to quickly cut it, just in case I don't cut it again. I'm going to move this over. So I'm getting careful, move that over. Don't worry, people do care, Adele. It just doesn't feel that way at the moment. It felt like a very uncaring environment when my father got the cancer. And I went over to the vets and, you know, forked out $400 for that chicken. Gee. When that happened, the world seemed like an unfair place, but it's not. It's just the world. What I might do is I might just cut that bit off. And that was a buggeration, wasn't it? Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, I think I was right to do it, but it was just a little bit cack-handed. Right, there we go. There we go. Nice little opal to start us off. Turn that off because I don't want to keep splattering myself with water. It's quite uncomfortable. So at least that's done. It's not getting off my hand now. There we go. What? What didn't you say? Oh, okay. It's hard to, you know what it's like. It's hard to actually keep up when things are going on. All right, we're going to go through all of this stuff. I'm sure Rainer will be along. Check this guy out. Massive, massive piece. I'm going to show you why I've got this on at all. See if we can spot the bit in the darkness. It should be around here somewhere. I think it's a little chunk of blue. Should be able to see it just in one of the corners. Or not. Okay, it's there. Oh, sorry, it's there. So you probably can't see it. You'll just have to believe me that it's there. I'm going to pop it there. Here's the other piece to it. I think these two pieces are the same kind of piece. So that's what this guy looks like. Now, I'm going to very gently rotate this one and see if we can spot the colour on this one, which is here. I made a mental note and stapled it to my forehead and everything. It is there. It's that piece there. Now, I'm not going to be able to show it to you because I'm just resigned to the fact I'm not going to be showing it to you. If I can't see it in this light, then there's no chance that you are. So those two are going to be dealt with a little bit later. I might have to give them some preparation. These ones are going to be easier to deal with because these have got pretty obvious colours on them. Let me just take them all out and we'll start looking through them, because some of these don't only just have colour, but they have astonishing colour. So let's have a look. Well, I did in the daylight anyway. So here we've got this one. Be on the left. This one here had colour on it. I don't think it had the greatest of colour, but it did have some. I think it's just in there. I'm not going to worry too much. We'll just take the skin off and see what happens. Sounds rather nasty, doesn't it? This one here should be relatively obvious where the colour is. I love it when we get these guys. There's always a chance of a real awesome opal. So that one, it's got colour in it, and well, it's just one of those opals. Okay, this one here, got the colour there. I'll see if that actually extends into the black. I think it does, which is a good sign. So we'll see, but I think there's also a chance that there's a second piece on here. Hello! Speak of the seahorse and watch him appear. This one. Hello, it's all good. So this one isn't showing up as well, but it's still pretty good. I don't know if that's going to show on the, that's a colour band that goes all the way through, but it may show from the top, and that'll be an interesting one to test. Actually, I'm even going to grab have I got a piece of black opal? Random piece of black. What does it look like behind if you do it that way? Not too bad. Give it some thought. Yeah, massive, massive band. It's like better than Nirvana. Let me see. So there's another color band there. It goes all the way through, but it's a bit shattered. So it's the way it shatters that matters. But we've also got some color here, which seems to be facing the correct way, so that's good. Got this piece, which is, I think they cut it in a, what we call a painted lady weight, just shattered at the right spot so you can see all the color showing through. Hopefully it'll face correctly. This one here has got color, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. I'm just going to have to move myself into a more comfortable position because I'm uncomfortable. I know it's complicated. I'll get charts and diagrams later on and explain it. There we go. Okay, here we go. I think that's self-explanatory. Believe it or not, this is just the highlight reel. And I think there's another highlight reel in it. I recall now there is another highlight reel. Believe it or not, let me see if I can find it though, because like one is the bad ones and one is the good ones, so I've got to be careful. Okay, this is the good ones. So these are the good ones. These are the really good ones. I'll show you them in a minute. So there's no way we're getting through these tonight. This is like a week to a month, I reckon. Not to mention the fact that I am so backlogged with the fact that I had to redesign the way I polish the opals. I'm slow at polishing them as it is. So I'm really starting to back up with opals here. But there's method in my madness. I learned that when you can do a particular thing, when you can stock up on something, you just do it. And especially with opals, they fluctuate in value. They're a solid asset. So as far as I'm concerned, if I can find things like this at this kind of price, then I will continue to acquire them until I can't do it. And eventually a time will happen when I can't, and then that's the time to sell them. So you can see there's some nice color right in there. That's going to be a cracker, that one. Well, in my opinion anyway. Don't always get it right, but that one looks pretty self-explanatory to me. Okay, so I've got this one. I'm having a look as well to see where the colors are. Basically what it does is it screams an opal that has got color somewhere, and it's probably facing on that side. This one here, yeah, it's concave, it's convex, sorry, because that's the concave side and that's not the side which has got the color. This is the side that has the color. I remember that. So I was examining it earlier today. So hopefully we'll be able to do something with that. I'm not sure. May have to cut it in half just to get it flat. This one is already flat. Very, very skinny opal. Probably should have put it onto a bit of a fattening up regime before they mined it. But, you know, it's probably immoral to put an opal in a feedlot. Let me see. Okay, once again, I think, and I'm only thinking, let's just zip off the top and see what it looks like, just quickly. We're not going to cut the whole thing, just going to zip off the top. Also roll it a bit to make sure we get the maximum chances of finding the colour. So that's this side, just to make sure that side's sorted. Now we'll just do the same with the other side, see if we can start seeing stuff. There had to be a reason why I included this. I didn't just put a colourless object in. That's why I'm curious. I'm like a collection of curiosities even. That was a nice sound that I heard. I think that I'm going to have to cut it across this way, but that's not for the right this very moment. I'm still looking through other opals. But in that regard, I think that if I angle it correctly, i.e. much more steeply than I'm doing at the moment, we'll see some results. That's its own set of problems trying to treat it like a opal that it's not, but at any rate. I'm just going to give it a brief looking over. I'm going to move this over too. Wow, look at that. Found the wet patch. So I'm just looking through it. You can see what you can watch me look through it. Interesting. Well, you may have to see that one in the sunlight. Turn off. We'll just keep looking through these stones and then we'll pick out one or two, which can. By the way, that one wasn't particularly nice looking, so I just kept going. That one is very nice looking. That one is very nice looking. You can see the massive pile. That one is very nice looking. Well, just nice looking, I think. Not quite a 10. That one, I think it'd be good in the sunlight. This one, I'll be very anxious to take its top off to see what it's doing. Sounds very creepy, doesn't it? Here we go. That one's just a nice colour, I think, if I remember correctly. I think there is a bit of sparkle in it, but I'm not going to lose any sleep trying to find it. Okay, that one's got plenty of sparkle. Plenty of sparkle. Sorry, I should actually be showing you, not me. Try to get to that nice angle, which shows the sparkle. Well, it does sparkle, just believe me. This one, meh. I'm not going to bother showing you anything on that one because I can barely see it myself. Having a look here. Okay, so I'm not going to show you this, but there's a little bit of colour just on this side. Oh, and this one started to shine. Let me see if I can angle it correctly. About there, starts to shine. So, yeah, nice. This one, I saw some greens as I was just picking through it. So, yep, I can see that. Hopefully you can too. Just trying to make sure it all angles. You're only seeing a few little blues. You're not seeing the real iridescent green that I just saw flash at me. Ah, I have sorted it out already. This is the stuff that's not nice looking, would you believe? All of it. So this one, but like, because it was so spectacular, this particular package, I thought I'd show you the middle of the rotors before I showed you the really good ones. These ones are separated by the fact that they do have some kind of colour in them. And if you're thinking about the kind of colour that you're seeing in some of them, and I'm going, these are not the good ones, you wait. Okay, these ones I don't think are particularly good. I'm just going to quickly roll them around in my hand and see if I spot one that looks good. That one. The other 4 or 5 are going into there, and I'll put them back into their case. This one, hopefully we'll be able to see some. There it is. See? Lovely. Right. So we'll pop these back in, and then I'll show you the good ones. As a matter of fact, I should have a quick draw way of doing this, which I do. Right. In you go. That's in there. Now, it's the one entitled Gift. So let's have a look what's in this one. Hopefully this is the correct one. Which it is, yep. Okay, so we'll start off small. Have a look at this one. So I've definitely sorted out the nice looking from the not nice looking, as you can see. So that one goes there to sparkle away for us. Actually, I'll try and point it in a way that will look good. How's that? No. How's that? Worse. Probably a bit better. Okay, so let's have a look at this one. Iridescent greens pretty much all over the luminescent part of that, as far as I remember. I'm seeing pretty much what you're seeing, but you can see that there's a small color bar, just color band just going through there. And there it's going through all the way. So that'll be interesting. Very, very interesting. This one, I think, from memory, is here more because of size, but it's so, well, it's got a lot of color in it. Let me just give it a bit of love there. Okay, so we can see that there's a hint of a color bar just there. And there is a hint of color bar there. And there is just color all over it. If I can get that color to show. Oh, you can see a bit. So that one's going to be mighty fun to cut. And yep, it just keeps going. I think this one's only got a small corner, but the corner is brilliant. Let me see if we can... Hang on a second, something just crawled on me. Okay, it stopped crawling on me, so I'm sure it's okay now. All right, so there's our colourful section just in there. I'm trying to do it some justice, but there it is. I've got the colour enhance button. I haven't even had the retouch on. There we go, colour enhanced. So you can see there's a little bit of colour, and as far as I can tell, that colour extends right into that sandy spot. So might actually, have I got my torches? Yeah, I do. We'll have a look. Just use these two opals as a convenient holder. Let's see where we are. Yeah, good. So where's that? It's there. Let's just get that lit up. That bit lit up. Not that creepy. You got creeped out by everything that crawled in Australia, you'd have a very bad life. Okay, so I'm going to take these lights off, if I can. Take the lights away so we can see some translucence, if we can. All right, let's see what this does. All right, so we'll go from here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that spot there, and that should reflect all of the light throughout the rest of the opal it's connected, of which it is very loosely connected right at the edge here. Very loosely. Ooh, ouch. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's have a look at this one. What I want to see is just a shadow zone here. So if we see a shadow, we're in trouble. There is no shadow there, but if we turn it around, we'll see a big shadow here. See that? You see a big shadow. That's just the potch. That's just the sand that's here. But if we shine it from the other side, you can see mostly opal. And also, I don't know if you can see this, but this is glowing back at me, this little bar here. So that means this bar is connected to the potch here, which is good. Oh, hang on. I think this is also a no, it's not a glowing one. It's just really good. The moment you put some light to it, it starts to glow. Right. So let's have a look at, where did I put the other one? There. I'll quickly turn this off and we'll go and laser all of them if you want. But first things first, let's just get this. Let's have a look at them all. Right, so here's another good one. I'm going to have to cut this one in half, but well worth doing. You can see just that light just shimmying through it. I don't think we need to chuck a laser on that one to see it. Now, I'm having a much better time with this than you are because this is really quite colourful. You can see some of it. We'll see how that translates. The interesting part about all of these, if you have a look just down in the corner there, look at it now. Beautiful. Anyway. I think that just... Does that need an explanation? Only 3 snakes. Listen, mate, I've got 2 venomous varieties that are literally in this block. And talk to Adele about it because, like, she's got if she goes a little bit inland, she's got the inland taipan, which is one of the most deadly snakes in the world. Oh, and the crocodiles, of course. That one's good. Crocodiles genuinely scare me. I don't like the idea of being dragged underwater and death rolled. Sounds rather unpleasant. So there we go. That's what we're looking forward to with these particular opals. I will pop them back into the gift bag and then we will cut a selected number of them. I don't think we need to laser them because, like, you could see that there was some obvious colour. I don't think anyone was doubting me. But what we'll do is we'll go and we'll cut one of the more decrepit looking ones first. With regard to creepy crawlies and spiders and whatnot, basically, how do I put this? It's such a non-event in Australia that we forget that the rest of the world is scared. We just assume the rest of the world is like us, and like that's why you have that. Oh, really? That's nothing kind of thing. We're like, it's genuine surprise that people are scared of these things. No, I think you'll find that large attacking animals are dangerous as well. I can give you a creepy crawly update. It was a bug that I call an insect that I call a crickleback. They're the ones which they snap their head back and forward to jump around. What we're doing is we're gently asking the question of the remaining part of this opal, are you precious? If so, how precious? Absolutely. Seriously, even if you're the biggest arachnophobe, you'd be used to it in, I would say, in days, not even months. It's just a few things, and like, I get it. If a spider lands on your foot, it does feel icky. There's no getting around that. You're like, ew. Like, I jumped out of the way when there was something on my foot. It wasn't even a spider. So, you know, yeah, you get the creeps and the jeeps. It's just that you do get used to the constant presence of these things, and you're like, whatever. Oh, easily. Don't try it, but there was a YouTuber who I was watching recently who was demonstrating how non-aggressive a funnel web spider was. Now, be aware, and he said this himself, he's a trained idiot, he's a professional idiot, so don't do what he did. But he picked one up. And the other thing is, if you pick up a funnel web in the rainy season, it's very different to picking up a funnel web in the dry season. But he was able to pick one up quite easily. I'm pretty certain they blasted it with dry ice first or something, I don't know. Put it this way, I wouldn't be doing that. But like, I've picked up huntsman spiders before. They're not venomous at all, so maybe I'm a bit of a coward. But they are huge. They're just a little bit smaller than an African bird spider. But they are beautiful little critters. And like I said, there's a jumping spider which hangs around here. Right. So that is probably why I got it sold. See that chunk of sand there? That got in the way of their opal torch, I'm betting. And they're like, I'm not taking the risk on this opal, I'm just going to sell it on. And just as an aside, not many people believe me, but you notice that I didn't use a torch, I used a laser. There was a good reason for that. This is Lightning Ridge, which is dark to black opal, and so I used the green, which actually has got some of the highest penetrating power of any of the lasers. But if I was confident that there was a good piece of translucent potch, I would have gotten out the blue one, which tends to internally reflect to see if the entire opal lit up. Yeah. Now the funny thing is that one of the more deadly spiders that it's got a reputation for being deadly is the redback. And it is in the same species as the American black widow spider. And neither of those spiders are particularly nasty. I mean, you get stories from everyone, but realistically, if you get bitten by one, you're going to survive it. You probably won't even go to hospital. Sometimes you don't even know. Just go, I'm feeling a bit itchy today. More likely to die from a bee sting. Or hypothermia when like the water sprays on your pants, you know, that kind of thing. Going to give it some love from the other side in a minute. Once again, that sounds terrible, but I'm this close to ripping that band-aid off and curing it with some super glue. Much easier to deal with. Got to remember where the actual precious opal is, so you don't accidentally cut it off. Gee. Yes, Your Majesty, this was a very good opal. Right, let's just very gently head in from here. So what I've noticed from this particular opal is that patch of sand, yeah, most of them are like that. Yeah, anyway, that patch of sand is what I consider to be precursor opal. So I'm going to carve through the sand to see what we get. Well, that worked out quite well. Got a slightly larger stone there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my losses and cut this stone in half. There might well be some good opal, but you're better off just getting what you know, because 9 times out of 10, whilst you're on the hunt for the other opal, you're going to destroy the opal you got. So just going to carve this through, perfectly happy to do so. That's an interesting little mark there too. Explain that in a second. The machine struggling is a good sign. Major issue is being able to hold the pose for long enough, because it's quite taxing on the old back. No, you're joking. stay on this side because I'm working at cross purposes at some points. There we go, we're going through sand here. Yeah. Yeah. The term is venomous, by the way, mate. Keep telling my kids that. Not poisonous, venomous. Okay, so that's just checking out its anatomy. This is the what you call the open face. It seems that I'm pretty certain that the weathering face of your opals tends to go pale. The inside remains black. That's why it does what it does, I think. But like, who knows? Yeah, I had a bubble tip sea anemone to keep my clownfish company. I tried to get that thing to sting me. It didn't do anything really. I tried getting the most sensitive part of my arm, you know, just the forearm, just well there. Oh, Celine Dion. Hang on. Good old platypus. No, we're all good. Right. Good old platypus. They thought it was an April Fool joke or something when it was first sent over to England, I do believe. You know what a good sense of humour those scientists have. Interesting. Okay. I'm grinding it in because I can't be bothered cutting because it seems that the blade's not doing particularly well today. But also because I'm interested in the progress of the opal as well. Yep. Yeah, I didn't get much of a... Not that I was trying to go for a buzz or anything, but didn't get much out of the bubble tips. I was able to keep it alive, but it didn't grow. I had a protein skimmer and everything, but I didn't really know how to set up the protein skimmer either. I eventually figured it out, but I mean, you don't realise until you've set it up how it's supposed to be set up, so it spent months not working properly. Actually, it was the days before YouTube, so, you know, you couldn't just get any piece of advice off the internet. But those bubble tips are theoretically the best kind of home for the amphiprion, whatever, or the common clownfish. Well, if it's Hawaiian, at least you can be assured that it was collected ethically. Possibly. It's interesting, even with you talking about breeding seahorses, because back when I had the clownfish and the pajama cardinal were the only saltwater fish that you could breed in an aquarium. The rest were dynamited out of some coral reef in Indonesia. At the time, I just assumed that my bubble tip wasn't, doing particularly well. So maybe it looks like the other anemones when you got it going. I mean, it lasted for ages, the thing, but it didn't get any bigger. If anything, it got smaller. The temptation when you've got something like that going on is to try and feed the thing to make it better. When there's more nitric in the fish tank than your average mining company, you know there's a problem. If I remember correctly, I did the research I could do back in the day without, a reliable Google and without YouTube and all that. And they said you've got to get a nice light for the anemone as well, because they're partially symbiotic with various algae and whatever, which is cool. So I got what I thought was a good light, and I think later on I realised that light was just not up to standard. It was one of those AR 75s, so one of big for a small mass-produced tank. Yeah. Well, that's a good thing. Naturally, I've got guppies, which, you know, I don't think I'm going to get a Nobel Prize for being able to breed them. Well, you never know. His work in breeding guppies. Dr. Phil. Sounds good, doesn't it? So the reason I had guppies was they were much easier. One of my mates, like, we're in the environmental department of the university. We had all the things, worms and fish and all that. And the fish, they just happily bred in pretty much anything. And he was continually having to depopulate the tank because they were constantly breeding. So I would get a few clownfish. I'd get a few guppies and put them into my old tank, which no longer had a clownfish in it. The clownfish lived a good while, not the full 30 years, but maybe 5, 10 in captivity, which isn't a bad innings considering, you know, the mistakes I was making. There we go, nice little stone that. Okay, so that was fun. That one, let's have a look at this one. What are we up to? Alright, we'll do one more opal here and then we're going to be starting, believe it or not, hunting for the magnum. Yeah, we'll do this one because this is an interesting one. To me, anyway. It looks like it's got wall-to-wall colour. So, we know about that colour there. We know about this colour here. I'm just tidying it up a bit. That's not a problem. That sand is a problem, I suppose, so we'll get that dealt with. Definitely a problem. Good. So here we go. Have we got more than what I suspected underneath this opal? Anything beyond that bit of sand there is a bonus, basically. That's what we're looking for. Nice and buttery here, which is good. This is looking good. Let's see what we get. Got a little bit of extension to that colour. See how much. maybe a little bit. Let's see. Let's get rid of that sand. It needs to go. It may be that the underside is the side that we'll be using. We don't know yet. Gonna have to, yeah, just throw that away. Ordinarily don't like doing that, but I think we've got enough opal to coat. Either that or I've just ruined it, you know, one of the two. Okay. Galvanize into action. Oh well, there's not that much there, so there's a bit more, but not stupendous. Here we go. Take the top off and see what happens. Are we going to get anything at all? Because that's the other thing. There's no guarantee that it's going to work. I'm hearing the good opal sound, I'm just not seeing the good opal seed. There we go. Come on. Come here, you good thing. That's away. Come to Papa. I think it was just presenting to the side. I think it's just going away as I'm trying. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, I think so. Give it one more effort. Trying to give it a steeper angle, see if that does it. And it does, but there's not that much opal left to do it with. Okay, first failure. Oh well. Let's go on to something else. We're moving into magnum opal time. Let's see what this little beauty does. So obviously the top half of a knobby, it's the white cap, which has picked up some shine, and it also happens to be good enough to cut into an opal in its own right. So, very weird kind of half and halfer, but yoik. Sorry, just getting splashed in the face whilst I'm looking for an opal. Not the easiest task. Ugh. There it is. Got it. Water, water everywhere, and oh, the boards did shrink. Got to figure out how to fix up those angles. Yeah, but aren't the corals genetically the same? So, well, you've done better than me because like I couldn't get a anidrian to get any bigger. Yeah, freshwater's easy. Because if you're freshwater, it's a limited resource. So the animals are used to living in lack, basically. Every year in Australia, there's a fish kill. They figured it out recently. They're going, oh, the fish kill. Going, weren't you here last year? There was a fish kill last year. Where was the papers then? Yeah, it is, isn't it? But it's still getting me in the face quite badly. Like, I've really worked hard in actually making the entire thing a lot more usable. One thing I noticed was that I'd put an awful lot of material into the holder that didn't need to be there. So it was harder to get it in and out of the tank, and, you know, maintenance was a nuisance. So I've basically put a frame, which is essentially a stage. I've sanded off all of the stuff too. So the edges are a lot cleaner. Not magnum opal, but pretty good. I'm going to go full frontal, so to speak, because I think that this will make it easier. I've been having to wipe down this thing down quite a few times. There we go. Now it's a little bit differently angled, but we'll see how that works. I think that's better for me anyway. Well, that's true. A bit too stable, I reckon. I've probably got several tons of water above me, so I've got to make sure that the structure's good. What I've done is I've actually gotten some threaded rod and drilled them into the shelves to make sure nothing fell. It's essentially a couple of columns. This is a boring yesteryear opal, like the last few opals that I had. But we'll see if there's anything in it. I think this one has the power to shock and amaze, so that's why I'm persevering. Oh, you're talking about the water volume in the tank, aren't you? Yeah. Well, physical stability still works out when you've got a large mass of water. I think it's only when you start, you know, looking after big tanks or actually studying the subject in university, you realise what kind of volumes you're dealing with. My dad, bless him, every night he turns off the water pump to his filters. I've tried to explain that's not how you do it. Luckily it's guppies. They can survive anything. .5 tons of seawater. What's the specific gravity of seawater? It's a bit over 1, isn't it? So it'll be like 1.6, 1.7 ton. Okay, let me just do some, because the live rock is porous, but also it's 2.65 grams per cubic centimetre as opposed to 1 gram per cubic centimetre. I'd be willing to make a guess that the live rock would be a little bit denser than the water itself. So that's making, yeah, that's making 1,700 kilos. Sound like a pretty good number for your tank. Plus a substrate. That'd easily take up, like a 20 kilo bag of sand just wouldn't even touch the sides. Don't get all jittery, I'm just using a bag of sand as an equivalent. 34 grams of salt per litre. Alright. So it's not that much in the scheme of things, because like your litre of course is weighing a kilo. So it's 1.034 kilo. So 100 is 100 litres is 100 and 100 kilos and 34 grams. Got there in the end. But like, I'm still saying 170 for the live rock and sand and stuff. Maybe even 180 if you have to put a large amount of substrate in. Plus the coral. The coral will probably have a density of, because it's limestone, have a density of maybe 3 grams. No, it'll put it at 2.65 again. Yeah, so I don't think it'd go over 2 tonnes, but it would push the 2 tonne limit, I reckon. In the face of all of that, you know, the lighting and the pumps and all that sort of stuff, nothing. Oh, hang on, does your pumping, do you have holding sumps and spare tanks for water filtration? So you might have an extra 100 or so litres in that. Oh, the fish are as buoyant as the water, basically. So I'd be assuming that they'd be 1-to-1 with the water. And we've done those experiments in soil science. Generally speaking, organic matter is weighs less than water. So it's usually less than 1 gram per cubic centimetre. So this is getting very interesting as an opal. I'm glad I picked it. You'll see in a minute why. By the way, Raina, they are much easier to look after if they've been dead for 100 million years. That's my little hot tip for you, pro tip. So yeah, an extra 100 kilos for the filtration system. That's fair. Yeah, so I'm going to say, as a rule of thumb, 2 tons. And as the coral bred, did you weigh it out? Because like you just add calcium to the system and it'll add to its own weight without you having to worry about it. So if it's growing well, then it'll be increasing in weight. And if you can get a percentage of how much the coral's increased or decreased in size, you can get an estimate of the increase or decrease in weight. Either that, or just put the whole thing onto a truck and then go to a truck weighing station. Oh, I'll bet everything's over-engineered, mate. Are you talking about biological load? Too complicated. Don't even know what it means nowadays, like biological load. Because when you think about it, your bacteria filter is, well, bacteria. You've got algae and you've got plant life and you've got turbo snails and like everything's playing its part. If you've got a good ecosystem, you can cope with a lot more fish per litre. Not that I'm suggesting you push it. Now, what do I do with this bad boy? Should I or should I not? Not is the answer, because right, so this is an interesting opal in that I think I don't know if there's a crack here yet or not, because, well, this is a crack that has filled in with opal 1 million or so years ago. We've got another crack here, and I'm trying to determine how long that's been there for, because they're either cracks that have infilled or they're cracks that haven't infilled. So I'm just going to gradually just work around this corner, see if we can make something happen with this crack. Okay, let's try around this corner. Not getting much joy around there, so I'm just looking around these spots to look for where the colours are brightest. That's getting good. Well, yes, they do, because they're trying to do the entire ocean, and they're just doing a fish tank. I'm not even going to try and come up with an analogy, because that'll just get everyone banned. This is getting more and more interesting as we go. Right, this is a crack until it gets to the opal, where it becomes, well, opal. This is a very, very ancient crack. It's like a 90-year-old plumber. That's better. Nearly got it all under control. Gotta cut that crack until it's not a crack, which is a very interesting thing. If it remains a crack, then it's a hazard for the opal. But if it's infill with opal, it's fine. I was just in my own little world for a little while there. Hang on. Well, if the world runs out of water, we'll just ask you. No. I could get a piece of metal and sharpen it for you.
It's just the ergonomics of a scalpel will be useful. It doesn't need to be particularly sharp. I'm using it for plasticity.
Okay. All right. I'll be out in a little while. It's a match.
Could you sharpen the end of this match for me?
Hang on a second.
You can do what you need. I'll find it.
Get a paddle pop stick. Or I don't know. Okay, this is not exactly a magnum opal, but I like it anyway. I'm going to try and hunt down a magnum opal now. This is not what I was hoping for. Well, look, I'm quite happy with it. I'm just turning it into a cad so I can, polish it up and stuff. But and I'm going to actually make the dome a bit higher coming up to the line. So I have a feeling that would actually enhance the colour on the line. So it's a bit different to most other opals, in which it's going to be almost a mountain peak. So not your standard opal, but I bet you the effect will be stunning when we do it. Okay, just leave it like that, I think, because if I keep angling it up, it'll start looking like, how do I put this, a Hindu good luck symbol. Don't exactly want to do that. Got nothing wrong with the. I'm leaving. Just. I'm sure you know what I mean. Yeah. Well, for aquaculture is really important too, Raina. I have a setup there that works for me. I've got to rejuvenate it, but yeah. Good news is now that it's looking a little bit less like an authoritarian regime and more like a Windows symbol.
workshop for a flat piece of metal?
You'll probably step on one very soon.
I'm aware.
I'll help you find it in a minute. Just let me finish the street. I know. But I'll be able to help you in a minute. The next Olympic opal. Well, sort of. This almost looks like the symbol of a person who started the Olympic Games again. So, I was getting worried for a little while there. So, here we go. Let's have a look in here. There'll be definitely an Olympic opal for sure. This should be a no-brainer. Brains. Forgot what I called my new opal machine. Here we go. Nearly. Nearly. And nearly. Might only go from this side. It's a bit annoying, but hey, life was never meant to be easy. All right. Nice opal. We'll keep it in reserve for the magnum opal, but I don't think it's particularly. Ooh. Okay, drop one. There we go, easy peasy. Yeah, I think I have to change my blade again. Oh well. That blade didn't last particularly long, did it? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you get a blade which lasts forever and you get another blade which lasts for 5 seconds. Especially with the abuse I dish out. There we go. Okay. Seems that the colour just went away. Or was never there. That's a better option. Maybe I should have been a bit more selective and stuff. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This is it. Final one, and then we'll have to pick a magnum opal from the ones we've done. Can't just keep going here. So is it nice, or is it nice enough? No, you haven't. Yeah, you haven't missed anything in your cogging. Let's have a quick look at this. This is going to be the last one, regardless. Nice little crystal opal. And it looks like, just between you, me and the gatepost, it is behaving itself anyway, but it won't matter because we're nearly up to 2 hours. Can't keep going. So that's a nice one, either to be doubleted or not doubleted. Let me show you. Get opal of failure. Place this upon said opal of failure, and suddenly we have not very much. Hang on. Still a bit oval. Anyway. So, it is a nice opal if you look at it. There we go. Finally get the colours. Turning off. Oh. There we go. So, we've turned everything off. We've got a few opals out. Not as many as I hope. Pardon me for the yawning and stuff. No bad. Not so bad. Let me just quickly... we'll say a quick good night to the birdie, so I'll quickly turn the lights on. There we go. Hello, Loki. Did you have a nice time whilst you were watching me cut opals? Or you just... Scratchy poo, scratchy poo. Oh, absolutely. So did you grow your trout yourself? Did I poked her in the eye? She doesn't care. All right. Come in. I'll give them some seeds and they can... Come in. Good bird. How's your crest today? Have you got stuff in there? Yeah. Is that hurting you? No. Good. What's that? Yeah. Dr. Phil's premium live cut opals. Sounds like a very, very prestigious juice. Cold pressed. Yeah, I know. They both have their
natural minerals.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving me stink
They
eye.
are like silicone smoothies now.
Well, yeah, serrated tussock is a siliceous plant.
No, you don't understand. Actual silicone from
Yeah,
the ground.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Hello. My dad's...
Hello, I didn't wake you up, did I?
No, I'm currently creating an anatomical heart piece of jewelry for Erica.
Oh, that's so cool. Is it like a birthday thing, or is it just because general wanting to give?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Just general wanting to give.
Fair enough. Well, if you'd like, I can leave you to that
No,
meeting
no, no.
after.
No,
Wow, what's going on there?
Okay.
How adorable.
I don't have like any tools that are very useful for this, so I am struggling.
Are you okay there, Max?
Well,
No, I think he was just striking for the sake of it because he was. I don't know why he's gotten so. Interesting. You okay, mate? He used to be like that all the time. He's very, very rarely like that. Just ignore it. Well,
would you like to finish the house of work tonight?
I would. I would also like to do
there we
the
go.
drawing with you.
The drawing.
Yes.
Oh, the drawing.
Yeah.
Hello.
You can play that if you want. You can do that, and I play some Mario Galaxy.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be finishing up very quickly. So first thing first, we do the splat. Here we go. Yoink. Splat.
So I just wanted to check in and make sure that you hadn't already gone to bed, so I can also just check in and make sure we're still good for tomorrow, because I am slightly panicky about that.
Yeah. I'm good for tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can come for the massage. It depends. I'd have to cancel my singing lesson.
All right. Well, I hope you had a lovely time watching me do all those opals. I struggled through a few of them, but in the end, it worked out well. Like and subscribe on the way out if you liked what you did. Liked what you did? Well, yes. If you liked what you did, yes, by all means. But if you liked what I did, like and subscribe on the way out as well. As you can see, my mouth isn't working anymore, so I better quit whilst I'm ahead. Have a lovely evening. Dr. Phil out.
Yeah, I'd like to come with you.
Mm-hmm.